Hello, all of you risk takers and truth seekers to podcast Life, the battlefield, where we explore the front lines of life's biggest challenges and victories. Today, I have an amazing guest in my studio. She's unknown to all of you. She was a guest before. Jodi Finnan, it's her name. And Jodi, she's a true definition for the courage, for resilience and tenacity. Today, Jodi is gonna share with all of you what it takes to embark on a solo traveling for 7 weeks. What did she learn? How this influenced her life, business, how she promoted her business, how she accesses her clients working remotely. All of this today in interview exclusively with a truly amazing guest of mine, Jodi Finnan. So let's dive in. So Jodi, welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much. I'd love to thank you for being back.
No, thank you for you being back. Okay, so look, I prepared all range of the questions for today's interview.
Okay, so yeah, it was near enough 2 months, and as I say, it did take a lot of courage to do that. I went to Japan, Europe, and America, so 3 completely different end of the world countries, and I must admit, it was a long time and not something that I would do again next week. But as I say, I learned a lot about myself, and obviously I'm traveling and running a business. So there's a certain amount of structure that I had to put into place in terms of being able to see all these beautiful places and satisfy my clients and pick up new clients along the way and network, which I do believe I'm very good at, which is why I'm in the position of running a business that organises people. So predominantly in my life, I have been an EA who've worked for some great individuals, big CEOs, entrepreneurs, etc. I started off my virtual management agency 8 years ago, and it's gone from strength to strength. What's the difference between a virtual management agency and a virtual assistant agency? Quite a few things. People connotate the word virtual assistant of hiring people offshore, which indeed they do, whereas I work basically in Australia, and my team are all Australian. Now, the difference between a virtual assistant and what I do is a virtual assistant would probably be asked to do set tasks, whereas I come in and actually manage businesses. So I'll sit with my client every week. What do you want to achieve? What tasks do we need to do? And what do I need to plan to get you there? So it's not necessarily them knowing what needs to be done. It's me coming in, strategizing, and enable people to fly and excel in what they do best, and I can take care of the rest. One of the main things that I have learned is you can run a business and travel. A lot of people might look at the perception on social media, oh, she's out there traveling, not working. Completely incorrect. I structure my day to do with the time zones and the clients that I'm dealing with. I plan and execute my days with perfection. I'm always pre-planning the night ahead in terms of what I need to get done and what my clients need to get done. I strategize in terms of what's fun time, what's play time, what's work time, what's me time, what's think time. And my days are just miraculously planned, and they just so happen to be planned in some amazing places across the globe. Traveling alone and learning to be with yourself is very empowering. I don't know many women that would go out there and be comfortable being alone. I'm teaching myself that, and for the whole month, first month I was away, I was completely alone. But when I say alone, that means I'm in tune with myself. I'm learning to toughen myself up. I'm learning to take on situations and deal with them in my own right rather than depend on other people. There are certain situations that I have come across on being alone, and again via social media I've had a lot of women contact me to say, you know, you're actually inspiring me, which I never really actually thought I was. And it's, you know, I've got some friends.
I love your honesty.
I know, I've got some friends like, oh my God, she's talking to the camera again. But, you know, that's just my friends, and they will always bull like me for the rest of my life. But when you actually get a lot of outside people messaging me daily saying you're doing stuff that's really inspiring me, I'm like, oh, fuck, I actually am doing something good, and it's great, and I'll continue to do that. Well, first of all, thank you very much for the compliment. Secondly, I do know about camera angles, and I actually do help a lot of clients direct their social media and can help with all sorts of angles.
Yeah.
So yeah, there is a key and there is a skill to that. But I mean, I do like to eat, and I don't overthink stuff like that. You know.
Because I saw something in Portofino somewhere, you said like, I can't do this breakfast on something. I said to myself, oh, poor Jodi, you know what I mean?
I went to Italy, and obviously the food there is absolutely phenomenal. And I did several cooking classes, again on my own, which was quite scary, turning up to have all these couples there cooking together, and then there's just me, hey guys, I'm here. But you know, it's actually through doing stuff like this that I network. For me,
Okay, talk about what you say.
Yeah, I've actually picked up a couple of clients along the way, just for them getting to know me without even talking about my business and learning what they do. And part of traveling, and there's a process for this. Whenever I do travel, I actually connect with people on LinkedIn to find out my ideal client, to say to say that I'm in the area. This is what I do. I'm obviously researching into what they do, so I don't go there, completely blind. Would you like a coffee? And everything that I do, is what's the word? Is strategized. And I've met with quite a few people on this trip who, I've signed up, I'm helping them. And not only am I doing that for myself, but also for all my clients. I'm networking around the world, and I'm talking about what my amazing clients do, and I'm picking up clients for them as well. Absolutely not. I'm proud of my business, and I have faith in myself and what I do, and I'm very humble that it's all coming together. And I'll pitch myself like that, meet people for coffee, and it's all about networking. It's really funny because I used to network so much before I had my business, and just out of conversation, you'd say to people, hey, where do you work? What do you do? And you get an answer, but you never really took it on board because you actually didn't give a shit. But now I've got my business, I actually really care about what do you do and how can I help you?
So my question relating to you say you're very proud of your business.
Yeah.
Can you explain to me why you're so proud about what you're doing?
Totally. I mean, it's very nerve-wracking starting up on your own because you don't know if you're going to be a failure in what you're doing. And, sorry, just to put it out of the way. Sorry, it's just a client. I'll be back in a minute. It's very, anyone wanting to take that leap of faith and setting something up on your own, it's everyone's scared of failure, but it's with the failures that you learn what doesn't work and what does work. So you really just need to take that leap of faith. And I know I'm doing well because I'm getting lots of referrals. I'm happy. You can feel it. Yes. You can feel it. And my business is escalating. I've won a couple of awards now. And it feels good.
Feels good.
Yeah.
Now, let me now just talk about this. When you are traveling and you say you engage new clients and people around you, you are not afraid to talk to the people, right? Most of people love to go for holiday and, be stuck on one destination and little bit go around, see the museums, the ballet, whatever it is, food, you weren't. So as a business owner, somebody who wants to travel now overseas and for 5-6 weeks, what do you see, what's the biggest obstacles for the business owners like me? I want to go now 5 weeks. What's happening in my business? Who's going to look after my business? Let's say, can you do these things? Can you understand now more?
100%. I believe that, most businesses since COVID have actually got the ability to go online. And you can strategize about starting your business online, traveling, putting a schedule into place and making it work for you. People, because they're not used to that, don't believe that that can actually happen. But with the right coaching, the right strategy, albeit, some people might have families and that might be a little bit, more complex for them. But, where there's a will, there's a way.
Interesting, that's one. So, when you are traveled, can you just share with us maybe some of the funniest moments? Because I'm interested for Japan. Because for me, for you in Japan, you decided to try new things, okay? I can see on social media. So, tell us something. What was one of the funniest moments of your traveling?
Oh my gosh.
Is it Japan? No?
Japan's amazing. Again, it was one of the places that I hadn't been before, so I love to try new things, new opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Japan was just simply like you walk out and you don't know whether to look left or look right. And one minute I'm having dinner with some pygmy hippos around my feet, and next minute I'm having a drink with an otter. And I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but it's all, I can't remember what the name of the road is. It's in Shinjuku, but there's this amazing road with all these new experiences. And I'm very much like, yes, let's do all this. And there's just a world of opportunity out there. And I don't mind doing that on my own. A lot of people would find it, because there are a lot of couples doing things like this, but you've just got to be, I'm training myself to be stronger and doing stuff like that on my own. For example, I went to Disney World on my own, which I look back now and go, fucking hell. And I did have a little tear up at Disney World, and I didn't know whether that's because it brought back so many happy memories, or it was actually, what the fuck am I doing at Disney World on my own with no boyfriend? I don't know. I think it was the first one.
Yeah.
But again, I did it. I'm quite proud of myself.
You are proud of yourself because, Jodi, I look very high, like we can, from one point of view, you can see like, okay, she travels, and she sees so many countries. But I know that you're the hardest working person in the room. That's another thing. And you never stop working. Secondly, I saw the images, the videos and everything. It's funny. Now you share with us how put the angle, and it looks better. We can look better by using the camera properly, learning from you. But there must be some moments when you doubted yourself on 7 weeks trip. That's a long, that's a 2 months.
I know. I don't know whether I should share this with you or not, but it got to a point where, I like I like dining out. I like nice places.
Yeah.
I work hard and that's how I choose to use my money. And I was in one of my favourite steak restaurants in Japan, which actually was like an hour away. And I thought, fuck it, I'm getting in an Uber. I'm going there. I had this degustation.
Yeah.
And there was actually this guy and his son next to me. It was actually quite hot, and I was like, oh gosh. I was doing this, I kept dropping my fork in hope that he would actually kind of pick it up and pass it to me. And I did it twice. And in fact, all he did was look at me and probably go, oh my God, what a clumsy bitch. So I didn't get the outcome that I actually was wanting, but it was still quite empowering that I managed to go out every night, eat at these nice places. And yeah, I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Look, it's funny, me as a man, I can ask some questions because it's not fair to ask. But do you think the men today more afraid of the women?
I think so.
Are they afraid of you because of your stature, your successful woman?
I don't know. I don't know where the hell they're hiding.
You have a dangerous dog as well.
I think it must be Harley. I don't know. Look, I've made in terms of my personal life, I've made some very wrong decisions in terms of men and what I've actually put up with in the past. I've actually, I'm a positive person and I'll try and make something great out of something very small. Mm-hmm. But I think now I look at it, it's because I didn't have enough faith in myself to go out there and get what I really deserve. Which is why spending a lot of time alone and getting to know the real me and what I deserve and being able to look after yourself is something that I've done on this 2-month trip. And I'm all geared up for, I'm not looking for something. I'm just doing me. Hopefully that person will find me. But in the interim, you just have to love yourself, love what you're doing, and everything else will be attracted to you, I hope.
The funny thing, it's not actually a funny thing. Actually, you say something very, 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 very powerful for the many women over there. You need to learn yourself. Admitting some type of the guilt, it is a big step.
Yeah.
Most of the people will say, my life was not fair, my mom didn't love me, this and that. But to say my mistakes in relationships were not quite well.
Yeah, it's no one.
It takes a lot of balls, honestly, Jodi. I congratulate you for this one. But it's like when I see you as my friend, I know I see your dangerous dog, Harry.
Harley.
Harley.
I'm more dangerous.
No, look, it's like Harley, and I seeing you're walking a lot, you're exercising a lot, you're challenging life on all levels. What did you sign? Okay, there's some consistency in your life. I noticed the last couple of months that you signing yourself for some challenges.
Yeah.
So for all women out there, why you assigning yourself for some challenges and what did you try to achieve with this one?
I love to push myself and, push boundaries. And I don't like just being comfortable. Obviously, comfortable is the optimum result. But with that, you should always push yourself further. And while I was away for the 2 months, I sat on the beach. By the way, the European beaches are not as good as Australian beaches. But anyway, sorry, bit rocky, and I'm not going to wear those funny shoes. But I sat there, and it's like, I really want to better myself always. And, what coaches can I work with? What areas do I want to develop? I'm really working on me. And I believe everything else after working on me will all fall into place.
Interesting, eh?
Yeah.
You're not afraid of challenging life?
No, I love a good challenge.
Okay, so for any business person out there, Jodi, what would you suggest when you're talking about challenging themselves?
Don't be afraid to start. A lot of people are scared of failure. Start yourself off with a small challenge, and when you're fruitful with that, go forward to the next, and keep challenging yourself every day in everything that you're doing. As I say, I did the boxing challenge at the beginning of the year, which I did.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I did.
Yeah.
And that in itself was huge, because I didn't think I would be able to show up every day for 3 months and train. And the more I got into it, the more it actually became a pleasure.
Yeah.
And it wasn't actually even becoming a challenge anymore. It's just part of a habit that I've formed. So there's a lot of people out there that don't think they can start certain things, but once you get into it, you'll be absolutely amazed at what you can do yourself.
I have an emotional question for you. It was your last stop of your trip, last leg.
Yeah.
Which was England.
No, LA.
Actually, I'm lying to you. Actually, that's correct. I'll try to correct you. Okay. Emotional question which is relating to your childhood.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw there's some images you
yeah.
posted. Now tell me, when was the last time you were in England, and what did you feel? Because I saw that some things was on the street, same things when you were eating and drinking. I can't remember properly.
I was on like a quest to go down memory lane, because it holds so many good memories for me. So I wanted to revisit that. And I actually walked past the house that I grew up in, if I ever did grow up. The house that I grew up with as a child, because I wanted to see what it looked like. And there was this lady in the garden who was pruning my dad's roses. I was like,
how she dare?
In my head, I'm like, get off my dad's garden. But anyway, I started chatting to her, and she was a remarkable woman. And I told her the story, and she even invited me in the house. And my head was like, okay, is this a good thing? And I was like, yeah, let's do this. So I actually remember going in the house that I grew up in, and there was still this graffiti on the wall that she couldn't get off because I'd blasted it in paint. It was just I don't know whether that was like creepy or not. She did say, do you want to go upstairs? I was like, no, I'm all right. But I was just revisiting my childhood, because it holds so many great memories for me, and where I grew up and the people, and it was great.
Would you do again?
I don't want to go in my old house again. No. I mean, I've done it, and it was, I've realised that I've got some absolutely amazing friends out there that I went to school with. And even though I live on the other side of the world, I'm so grateful for the people that I grew up with. They remembered me,
So they recognise you?
Yeah, I mean, I walked down the street in Weybridge, which is where I lived, and I've been over here now for 17 years. And I had 2 people that said, hi, Jodi, what have you been up to recently? Okay, I'm like, I've lived in Australia for 17 years. What about you? They're still doing the same thing. Which point being, some people just, they're scared of change.
So that's what you said, actually. You're referring to this one. Don't be afraid of the challenge yourself.
Don't be afraid of change. It's one of the, I can use a good...
Please.
Antidote. So a goldfish, okay, if you put it in a bowl, can only actually grow to the size of the bowl. But if you actually put that goldfish in open water, it actually never stops growing. So my point to that is, if you stay in that small container for the rest of your life, you're not going to grow. So, I've moved over to Australia, I'm doing all this travelling, and every day I'm growing.
How are you helping your clients not to be the golden fish in a small bowl, but instead to be the golden fish in a big ocean?
Yeah, I'm opening them to lots of possibilities. People in businesses are so asphyxiated in just their role and making money. They don't see the bigger picture, which is where I come along. I look at what they're trying to, get done that week. I'm giving them different suggestions and a different approach to things. I'm taking stuff off their hands so they can concentrate on what they do best. And I'm just getting shit done, and it works.
It works, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one. So, Jodi, look, when if somebody comes to you today and say like, I want to travel 7 weeks, what will you say? Do it or not to do it? Solo traveling. I mean, the solo
traveling. Oh, look, do it. There's really, unless, I mean, people will always put the cons before the pros and try and talk themselves out of doing a trip like that. But in realist terms,
yes, yeah.
In real life, you can do that. As long as you haven't got family that really need you there, you can start a business. You can actually make it work. You can do more of that, and you really need to do that. Step outside your goldfish bowl, get out there and do the things that you're too scared of doing.
You can help the people to actually step out.
Absolutely. I actually offer one-on-one coaching, and at the moment I'm teaching 6 amazing ladies that are just a bit lost in life, and I'm teaching them how to start up their own online company. They've seen me travelling, they've seen what I do, and I'm coaching them into doing the same thing in their niche.
Jodi, thank you very much for being my guest today.
Yes, thank you.
And thank you for empowering all of us, including, the male side of of society. And I feel sorry for the guy who didn't pick up the fork.
I know. Why didn't he pick up my fork?
No, that's weird. I mean, like
he's lost, right?
He lost now. I think he's gonna search for you, ladies and gentlemen. That was my guest today in studio, Jodi Finnan. I'm gonna put in comment section below all her details and socials. So I'm looking forward to you contact Jodi, particularly all of you ladies who look to be empowered and grow your business online. Do this with the Jodi Finnan. Jodi, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.